Hi Leos, this is Chronic Joy Tarot, and this is going to be your March 2018 reading, soul growth reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're returning to my channel, thank you so much. Welcome back. Thank you for all the ways you support this community and my readings every month. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping in. And realize that my reading style is mostly about your personal and spiritual growth. Okay, it's really less to do with predictions or others and events in your life. It's more about where you are now, what you can focus on, and how to expand, certain aspects of yourself in order to continue the journey, to continue this life. Okay, I am using the Zen Tarot deck here, and the spread is called the Flying Bird. I pulled 2 extra cards for you just now, which is like not normal, so I'm going to throw those at the end, kind of cap it off. And I usually use an oracle card to guide us to tap into the theme, sort of, for this time. And if you're watching this in March, this can be for the month of March. If you're coming upon this some other time, it's basically going to be a focus for you to focus on from the time you watch the video for the next several weeks, a few weeks or so. And the oracle card I pulled for you, I'm using the Native Spirit deck here by Denise Lynn. It's really a gorgeous deck. And the card I pulled for you is Warrior of the Heart, which Leo is ruled by the heart, so I really got excited when I pulled this card. It's really, it's a couple of things. It's guiding to tap down into that heart space and really just lead from there for a little while. We have periods of our lives where we do need to assert our intellect and use our logic and, make plans and make schedules and take action in that way. And this is asking that you sort of take a rest from that temporarily and really lead from your heart. And then another aspect of it is that if you have fear, which every one of us do, we're human, address your fear, embrace some of the fears that you have, and find that warrior courage, find that fearlessness that's in you. And now, fearlessness and courage don't mean that you aren't afraid. It just means that you acknowledge it and move through anyway. Fear less, right? Fear less, and trust the path of your heart to get through this. So if you have something that you're tentative about, or that you're not wanting to address because of some fears that are within you, then we're going to find a way to tap into that heart space and open up and bring some courage into the mix. Okay. All right, Leo, so this spread is called the Flying Bird. We have a point of liftoff, and then we move through the wings until we come to a new level of awareness, or, an outcome. And the left wing are internal energies that are within you that others may or may not be aware of. And the right wing represents external energies and influences in your life, sort of your day-to-day and things that show up in your life. Okay, starting point for you, Leo, is creativity. Wonderful. When you're tapped into that heart space, that's when you're most creative. I mean, that's just that they go hand in hand. So, I'm going to, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to get specific for a second and say that if you have a creative project, or, that you're wanting to fulfill, that you're wanting to bring out and see it come into reality, if it's like sort of ruminating in you and you're not really, you're feeling a little tentative about seeing it through, then I would say this is the time to really begin to, this is really resonating for me. I'm a Leo, and there are a couple of things that it's been on the back burner for me because some of it's fear and some of it's just time constraints, but it's hard to, it's not, I guess it's not hard to tap into creativity and bring out, your expressions of that, of the, your heart and your passions. But it is, for some of us, it can be a little bit, you feel a little tentative because if you express yourself and create and bring your artistry out, there's, sometimes there's other people's opinions that kind of squash it, or people don't receive it the way you would like it to. And so what we're wanting to do is be able to express ourselves from the heart, from the deepest place of our heart, with as little regard to responses and reactions from others as possible. Now, it's we're human, and the interactions with others are important to us, and they're part of our lives. But creating and expressing your passions just for the sake of it is kind of what you're guided to do here. If this doesn't apply to you with creativity, I would also say, maybe in relation to your home life or your children or your family, your close loved ones, to really start to connect with them from your heart and less from expectations that your intellect might, that your mind might have, or that maybe sort of societal structures, people expect, like, I don't know, if you have a child who, loves to, I don't know, sort of be out of norms, whatever social norms are, and really to just tap into the essence of that person and support the the expression of who they are. I'm really getting off track now. I think this is going to end up being a long reading. Sorry, Leo. Anyway, from the heart, okay? So connecting from the heart and being brave about it, and being unapologetic about what your passions are and what's coming out. And if you have a creative project, for sure it's time to start working on it and really make it come to life. Okay, sorry for that tangent. The first internal energy here is called the fear of flying in this space, this position. So this would be a potential block that's within you in order to be able to progress and to, bust through your fears. Okay, so you may have fears that if you bring out your true heart self, especially in this creative project, that you might experience some loss. That you might that might be what's holding you back. That you might experience, I don't know, loss of anonymity, loss of respect. Maybe others wouldn't understand if you just really spoke from the heart. And I'm gonna back off of the creative project for a minute and just say, being a full expression of yourself from your heart, you may feel like others won't accept it, and that might leave your experience and might leave, might want to kind of back off, and maybe friendships end or relationships end if you're just truly being honest about your desires and who you are. But I don't think this is the case. I think that fear is valid because we're human and we want to be accepted. But I really feel like it's actually the most important thing right now, is to just allow yourself to really just show up from the inside out. If others fall away and if life circumstances change as a result, it was supposed to. because your truest expression of you is really the most, I mean, it's kind of what we're here for, right? Is to discover exactly who we are and be that. So, anyway, I'm hoping this is resonating for you guys. It is for me in relation to a creative project, but I'm trying to be a little more general because it's a general reading. So, I am hopping back and forth a little bit. Apologies. Okay, this first external energy that plays off of this thunderbolt, this sort of a shedding of the things that no longer serve us, but trying to unblock that, because unblock the fear of that. Yeah, is flowering. Look at that. So yes, it is vital that you become the fullest expression of who you are, because this flowering card is actually, this is an external position, and it's saying once you sort of set your sights on your goal, or really sort of like throw your shoulders back and let out that lion roar and just be exactly who you are, it's going to create paths toward sort of miracles that you never really expected. Okay, maybe it will create a more of a closeness with others, or if it is a creative project, it's going to, you're planting seeds and flowering, and it's really going to take flight. It's going to take off. So I keep coming back to that creative project. So, no fear. Just get out there and roar, and watch how things develop, because they're about to. Within you, the next internal energy is this maturity card. I love this because you are more and more coming to a place of your life where you fall back on, you connect more with your wisdom and your inner truth and what's right for you more than anything. And that is what's making your life rich. It isn't the, attachments to others, or the material things, or, your status quo, or anything like that. It's what's growing and expanding within you that is really, really driving your life and making your life as rich as it can be. So just know within you that, this act of letting it out, letting your truest self out from the heart, whether it be with a creative project or just, verbally or physically, or, as you show up in your day-to-day life, really, really tapping into your truth and exposing it is the right thing. And you know this within, that deep within, that you really are safe in doing so. Okay? In your external world, again, you might come upon some. So this is it's a dreamy card. It's talking. Part of it talks about sort of disillusionments that we have in life. That the ideal is kind of this fairy tale sort of ideal, but I think you're getting that more and more. That sure, aspects of this are very fulfilling and are possible, but we also have stops and starts, and we have obstacles, we have challenges that come our way, and so getting that sort of equanimity about things are developing in a really beautiful, dreamy way, but I'm not going to rest all of my hopes and wishes and expectations on one sole scenario, one sole outcome. I'm going to let this ride. I'm going to know deep within that, being my truest self and living from the heart is really the best way, whether or not it means, this sort of happily ever after ideal. that really is the path to it, is to be your truest self and to live from that, the most fundamental truth that is you. And Leo, you're very, very heart driven. And it's what I realize is that for me, as I, gain my own wisdom and grow older in years and find my own truths, is that the things that are most important to me really come from heart connection. Like my sense of empathy is really growing, and I'm becoming almost super sensitive to things that happen, globally, and things that are happening, sort of in the world, in the news. I'm becoming super sensitive to it, and I found it necessary to sort of be off of social media for a little while and just kind of take care of my own, tend to my own heart and soul. And then it gives me that strength to go ahead and face the world, because I really am becoming more sensitive to, things that are happening all over the place. And that's a good thing. And then that's also it's kind of difficult at times when bad things are happening. I don't want them to, right? So this is a development of, of that kind of heart space, that sense of connection to others. The last internal energy, and this is so me right now, is the miser. This woman is holding like all of her beautiful jewels to herself. She's not wanting to share. She's not wanting to let them out. She doesn't want to expose them. And, there is a fear about losing her riches. If she lets them go and shares them with others. And I get that. I get to places where I just really want to tuck in and hibernate, which is what I kind of just said. I kind of pull off social media and all that. But the warrior of the heart does not have those fears of the miser. So this is sort of an aspect of yourself that you can acknowledge, sort of tap into, and start to slowly open that up. And if it is a creative project, it is asking to be shared with others. It's your calling right now. The last external energy here is the Innocence card, and this is asking and guiding to sort of take a childlike view and of the world. This old sage has been, through it all, lived life, knows the answers, has all the, everything figured out or whatever externally, but still finds wonder in the simplest thing, like this grasshopper, and his legs and the way his antenna move, and just still looking at life with fresh eyes. And so this experience here of shedding sort of your walls and your barriers from the outside world, and being able to really show up as your truest self, whether it be through a creative project or just simply by, letting your roar out, those processes will bring you to a new sort of a fresh level of perception, and how you see how you're receiving others, and how you see the world happening around you. There's that quote by Rumi that talks about you think it is that you're supposed to seek love outside. I'm really gonna screw up this quote, but the essence of it is we think we want to seek love outside of ourselves, and that's where we'll find it. But the real work is to address and break down the barriers within our heart that keep the love from flowing in. And, this Thunderbolt card is a real indicator of that for you, Leo. I know we like to protect, we're very protective of our heart space and proud, and we don't always want to feel vulnerable and let those walls break down. But it's very important to have a little bit of a shedding at this time of those barriers so that the rest can take place, so that the flow can happen and the creative flow can happen and the connections with others can really deepen. Okay, and then your last two cards here. Oh, look at that. Love it. So yeah, opening up that heart space, staying receptive, staying open to what comes. We just said that, I think, didn't I? Break down those barriers. Let that thunderbolt go on within you. Let the blocks shed for now and stay as open as you can to what comes. That will widen, expand, and deepen your heart connection, and it's going to create a true transformation for you. If it's this creative project that needs to come out and be developed, it's going to change your life in either external ways or at least, you know, for sure, internal ways. And you're more in touch with your passions and you have a true expression of them. If it's not a creative project and it's more about your connections with others, same. You know, shed those fears, shed the barriers within you. That's the first step. And then everything else that follows is going to be expansive and amazing. Okay? All right, Leo. Sorry for the little bit of back and forth in the beginning of this reading, but we know what we need to do, right? I'm going to try my hardest to do another reading in March. It's a very busy time for me in my day gig. First quarter of the year is usually tough, but I'm going to try because I think you know, we're on a roll for 2018. All right. I love you guys so much. And thank you for visiting, and all your comments and everything are very much welcome. Take care. I love you guys.